Well, it appears, though, our stash is running low. Our supplies are in shortage, and I'm not talking about anything other than the Freedom Fries that I do desire right now, those ever-coveted fried potatoes. But speaking of being fried, we're looking at ENCE versus Vitality in a matchup that, well, as of yesterday, now we can sit here and say that ENCE have a fighting chance, and Vitality, they showed us some face, too. Welcome back to DreamHack Masters Spring 2020, everybody. My name's Trace. I've got Jacob, and I've got Halvor here with me to talk a little bit about what this game's going to mean, what it's going to be, what it's going to look like, what to expect. So, which one of you two lovely ladies would like to start?
Halvor looks ready.
He does.
Yeah, no, I mean, this has turned into pretty much, I guess, the fight for first place in the group, given how the first couple of games started out. ENCE probably in the best position, seeing how they're 100%, win rate-wise. Going into it, they delivered a solid match versus Navi yesterday as well. It's been just really fun to see Yumpy being able to implement himself into this ENCE lineup. I think everybody who's, kept an eye to the Counter-Strike scene has been excited to see what he can deliver, not only when he's playing for SJ or FPL matches, but actually just going up against the best players in the world. And he's doing really, really fine for himself.
He is that. What is your take on this, Jacob? What are you seeing so far?
I mean, I'm seeing a lineup that is playing some solid Counter-Strike. Yesterday, we did a few stats healing segments where you could see that they're being very proactive, right? They have a lot of great team play, and Yumpy feels comfortable enough to go for some of those big plays that is going to be game-defining. And I think, that's the biggest difference between him and X7. When X7 is playing with ENCE, he's the supportive element. He's going to be there, and he's going to do a good job, and you know where you got him. Whereas Yumpy, he's sort of like another X-factor, dare I say, to this ENCE lineup. And I think that's exactly what they need right now. They need somebody to stay up the pot, make sure that the rest of the players start to believe in themselves. And he did that yesterday with some very crucial and very important plays, being very proactive and playing one hell of a game.
One hell of a game. And there's often that conversation is it's Lily versus Alu, and right now I'm really going to put my money on Alu.
Well, Alu seems to be delivering time and time again, right? He's been actually one of the only consistent things about ENCE, even during their slump. After taking the world by storm, Alu's been delivering from start to finish, and the fact that he's able to now have some added firepower to the squad with him, because Sunny hasn't necessarily panned out in the same fashion as you would have expected. Yumpy's been just amazing for them, and I think it's really cool. I think ENCE really comes into their own, and they become like the real fear factor when they get to that double off setup, and I'm looking for that to happen over and over again today as well.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this lineup. I'm seeing Ariel, Sunny, Alu, Sergey. Obviously, everybody decided to go with the COVID haircut, but Yumpy or Jumpy. I don't really know how to quite say that one, but I'm sure that Yumpy, Yumpanera, something like that.
Nah.
Yeah, close enough.
I'll give it a try later. I'll practice some.
You know what was cool yesterday, Trish? You know what was super cool? He did the pre-game interview for ENCE, and he did the after-the-game interview as well. And he was actually a guy that was... And he was well spoken, in the sense that he gave some good answers. He was very reflective of his current situation. He gave us some insight, and he's not one of those guys that you often see. And let's be honest, it's fair enough. Come into a new team, they feel a little bit unsure where to go, unsure what to say. He's very comfortable. Already now doing the interviews, comfortable on the server. You could easily see that yesterday against Navi. So this guy, there's a reason why many says that he can be the next big thing if he get his. Let's say the dispute with Valve fixed, so we can get to see him at the big majors as well.
You know what the best part about that is? That's not our problem. But anyway, we can hear a little bit about that inside. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Against Vitality, it's gonna be a normal preparation, of course, because I think we are still focusing our own game more than preparing for another game. Obviously, it's gonna be a hard match for us, but I think we still have a pretty good chance against Vitality.
There is an ARC waiting for them on the other side of that.
Yeah, we know this play is coming in towards A, and so this movement of bodies towards here from ENCE is fantastic. Ariel's already in position over towards jungle, and his head is on a swivel, locks it down. A 9th round for ENCE there.
Yeah, they got Saivu, but I still think we have our really good individuals right now in our team. I think we have probably the best Finnish 5 players you can have right now in our team. But I still think that they have been playing a lot more together than us, but I still think we have pretty good chance against Vitality.
Yes, and Yumpy has had quite the ride, quite the roller coaster of emotions for this young player already up to this point. Now, I want to shift the focus. I'm going to talk about the other side of things here because this isn't the only team in the server, and we know that. But more importantly, you have to think about what's going on in the Vitality camp. And before we do that, we know what we've seen yesterday. We know what they're capable of. We know that this team has what it takes, even when ZywOo was having a cold start to the day. And of course, that's what's showing. And I need to give a quick shout out there to Preetham because that guy, he's a good friend of mine, and he's also tuned in.
Yeah, cool. I mean, there's two big problems with this Vitality lineup to me, or at least two problems we have to acknowledge and then see how they turn out. One of them being Sjokz. We saw him yesterday play some solid Counter-Strike. We saw Sjokz back to his 2014, 2015 shape where he was arguably one of the best players in the world. That Sjokz we have not seen in quite some time, and we get glimpses of it sometimes, like we did yesterday, which is just not good enough. We need to see it on a consistent basis. If he can find that level, then sure, Vitality can be a top dog within the world. Now, the next problem I have is Apex. Can he be that in-game leader? Is he good enough as a leader in order to take them to the next level if Sjokz is not going to be that player who's going to take them to the next level? I think Vitality is either, and it's going to sound rough, they are one roster change away from being a super, super solid squad once again. Either Sjokz has to go and you have to find someone who's consistent enough to play and be that X factor for the lineup. Otherwise, you have to find an in-game leader that is able to take them to the next level and enable a guy like Sjokz. So those are the two problems, but what we saw yesterday from Vitality, definitely a positive sign. If they can keep that up, I'm all aboard, keeping this 5-man roster and just letting them beast out the Counter-Strike scene.
Yeah, which is an interesting thing, right? We look at this team and we expect results. We want results, moreover. You're posing a question, which is the leadership qualities of Apex. And I just want to say that leadership doesn't just stop once you DC from the server, once you hit quit in console. Leadership in a team counts all the way around, and it starts from the top down. How about we hear about Vitality and perhaps what's gone on in their camp up to this point?
Playing against ENCE is always tough games. We've been playing against each other for more than a year, and it's always been like 3 tough maps and always really, really close. But yeah, they're bringing new blood with Jumpy. They've been better lately. I think it's gonna show. They're gonna show great Counter-Strike at this tournament.
They're already up. He's gonna have a fight on his hands right now. He must win both, and he's got both.
Yeah, pistols out for ZywOo as you get unarmored targets and headshots coming through. And somehow a 2-on-5 turned into a 1-on-1. Sergej making the jump and ZywOo taking him down. That is so...
I don't know what to expect from them. I don't think it's gonna change much, even if Jumpy is taking over as the intro play. So I don't know how he's gonna play this position. It's not gonna be easy for him. But the thing is, yeah, he's been pretty good individual player for sure. So I don't know what to expect from that game. So I can't say anything yet. I think it's gonna be a close one, and that's it.
Yes, we are back, and ultimately when we talk about Vitality, there's a lot of points that we can jump on, and I think some of them even stem back to yesterday, Halvor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I guess, two of the problems that Jacob saw as potential problems going forward with Sjokz and Apex, I have an additional one. So I guess we're finding a lot of potential faults with Vitality, which is not to say, obviously, that they can't perform well right now. It's just that their potential is through the roof. And for me, it's Mistura. And I think what we actually got to see from him yesterday was some of the better performances. Actually, what we've seen from him in Masters so far has actually been better than what we've gotten delivered, to start off his career in Vitality. And I think for him, it's really, really important that he quickly adapts and integrates into this team so he can actually be less of a liability and more of an asset to the squad, because we talk about them being one lineup change away from potential greatness, and I feel that that's absolutely correct, but they need to find the right piece to add in that case, and that could be Mistura if he actually takes to the level a little bit quicker.
And I really think that we are in a weird sort of timeline in Counter-Strike in which, it is a lot of players sort of hot swapping, if you will. It's rosters that'll go and adjust just one player out for another player, 1-for-1. But in doing that, you sort of create a timeline. You create a ticking bomb that is a roster imploding. And that's got to be a really wild scenario, but it definitely happens more often than not. Let's go ahead and get something that's not so sad and somber, though, and that being the map vetoes. What do you guys think?
Well, there's two maps we know that's not going to be played out. That's going to be Vertigo, most likely from ENCE, and it's going to be Train being removed by Vitality. None of these two teams play either of those maps, so we can already now assume that that's not going to be part of the map pool. Now, the picks coming in for these two teams is where it gets interesting, because ENCE, we saw them play well in Dust 2. Maybe that's going to be a comfort pick for them. Mirage is the go-to pick. Vitality picking Dust 2, so you're basically picking into each other's strong map as well. What this video on the screen right now tells me is that both these teams don't really respect each other in the video, right? They're going for their own comfort pick, and they don't really care whether the other team is good or not, which tells me that ENCE is feeling comfortable, that they're the better team on the server, and Vitality also thinks to themselves that, hey, it's ENCE, we're the better team, so we don't care if we play a good map of yours.
Well, if you're Vitality yesterday, and if obviously you have what was considered a test, which I don't really even think so. I mean, what, they had 11 rounds garnered against them in two maps? I don't know, Halvor. I would probably feel pretty confident for Vitality as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. They can feel pretty good about what maps have occurred or cropped up here in this video. I think they actually, in many situations, could have gone with either of these three picks as their actual pick, which is in a pretty good spot to be in. I don't think we can put too much stock into the NIP game that they played, obviously due to the roster changes on the Swedish side and everything. So I think that was a bit of an easier test, I guess, than what we might have expected going into the game. So yeah, in many ways, this is like the real trial by fire for me, going up against an ENCE team that have actually been performing pretty well with Jumpy in the lineup for more than, just a couple of days.
Just another quick comment to this video, right? It's also, to me, a sign of ENCE finding back to the old identity. I don't know if you remember, Trace, but back in last year, it was at Cologne. That was the first time ENCE really started to show some weaknesses within that lineup. I think they lost to Heroic in the lower bracket and went out in the very last place at the Cologne tournament. Back then, they were ranked number 2 in the entire world. They did that on Mirage, and ever since Cologne, it was like they moved away from Mirage. They didn't like that map anymore. It used to be their go-to pick. They used to be one of the best teams in the world on Mirage, and ever since the Cologne tournament, they was just like slowly but surely staying away from that. Now, they're starting to pick Mirage again. They're starting to find back to the old identity that was ENCE back then, when they were the second best team in the world. And to me, that's a very healthy sign and a very positive sign for the ENCE boys.
I mean, we're also looking at an ENCE that back in the road to Rio was putting Astralis to the test, which is, something you might not like to hear, Jacob, but it happened, albeit Astralis did win the series 2-1, and they weren't playing with Jumpy. But it's still something to consider, that the team play, that the very foundation of this team is still intact. Speaking of intact, I hope that you're all still with us out there. I hope that you don't have us muted, because right now would be the time I'd ask you to spam that chat, light it up. And when I say that, I mean spam responsibly, by using either of these hashtags, hashtag Vitality or hashtag ENCE, for who you think is going to win this game. I think that's going to be a pretty great way to go forward. Since we need to go to a break, we come back, we start to look at what is the first map of this series between Vitality and ENCE. It's not going to be one that you want to miss. When we come back, we got a little bit of Mirage coming your way. Well, our game is just about to start, and we are ready for that. I can guarantee it. My name being Trace Saranthus, along with me is Halvor Gulastol, and I'm butchering the shit out of that. And we also have Jacob Pimp Vinicky, which I think I nail pretty good every single time, and I'm talking about his name. Let's go ahead and start to talk about this one, though. We know the maps. We know where this is going. It's Mirage, Dust 2, Nuke, and we do know that it's Vitality taking on ENCE. Do we feel like we have a good bout on our hands? Does Twitch chat believe in anything other than easy for ENCE?
Halvor, take it away. I'll be back in a second.
All right, fair enough. You know what? To me, this is a bit of a 50-50, but considering the fact that I want to say that ENCE is, I guess, fairly new with this Jumpy lineup, I have to lean towards Vitality in a sense. Again, I said it during the map video, they've ended up with 3 maps that they very well in any given series could have picked as their actual map pick. So, yeah, I think I might run into some resistance from my Danish colleague here.
Yeah, it would appear so. Gee, I wonder who you're going to pick, Jacob. I think we just go ahead and slot it in production and we just say Jacob picks Vitality. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I think that would be a mistake. I think it'd be a mistake not to believe in the Jumpy, believe in Alo, believe in those guys from Finland. We saw yesterday they were absolutely manhandling Symbol and the best player in the world. So to think that he can manhandle Saivu, that'd be a mistake. All in on ENCE, they're going to win it. Easy for ENCE.
Okay, well, I think that you guys probably have a pretty good point, both of you, respectively, of course. But I do think that one of you forgot to drink his Monster this morning, and it wasn't me, and it wasn't Halvor. So, with that said, I'm going to have to side with the side of Vitality. They look hot to trot yesterday, and that's the easiest way to put it. So, thank you very much. We also asked everybody out there in the Twitcher sphere, because we got the Twitter sphere, right? So we should have some like Twitcher sphere or something. Anyway, we asked them to vote as well. We took a look at those numbers and we ran the jump. So what do we expect, guys? I mean, it is what it is, right?
You know what? I'm gonna give you a duel to look out for. You want to look towards Saivu and you will look towards Elo. Obviously, the two main AWP players on each team, and I think Elo's style of AWPing is quite interesting. He can be super explosive, super aggressive, but so can Saivu. So we're gonna see that duel go head to head, and that should be a good one.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Speaking of head to head, I've got some commentators who like to butt heads from time to time, but I don't think now would be the most appropriate. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Vendetta. We'll be right back with you shortly. And look at these two sellouts right here now. Not going to say they're sporting the freshest merch and wearing the chillest things, hanging out at any restaurants. Actually, nobody's been to a restaurant in a while around here, but we do have Harry, we do have Hugo, and they've got some pretty cool threads on.
Y'all are pathetic. Yeah, store.dreamhack.com. You want to get some swag, Trace? This is the place to do it. Look, I've even got DreamHack on my arm. DreamHack, yes, repping me everywhere I go right now. Things are feeling pretty good.
Showing off the
you know, bit creased. But
Trace, we'll send you on your way. You have fun. You go watch these games up in the chill room we've made upstairs. Me and Hugo, we got this. Okay. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see Yampy in the server. I think that is going to be. It's so cool that he joined this Eds team, right? Like the moment that happened, it kind of caught people's eye, and with good reason. Obviously, downside for this young man is that he can't play at Valve Majors, but it's nice to see that he's going to be hopefully still able to make a career out of this, competing in the non-Valve event.
It's actually a shame to see X7 like not in this server right now, because I think he's actually a really good player for ENCE. But you know, the results are there, Harry. The proof is in the pudding. We saw Yampy shut down Na'Vi yesterday, beating Simple, despite Simple being 2 kills above Yampy in the BO3, as is tradition for Simple. He's always top of the server, but he's not going to win the game. And they're looking for a fast victory here on Mirage. They're running right out the ramp, no waiting around. We got that boost up for Mizuta, but it's going to drop quickly, as will all the CTs. Yampy and Sergey finding those openers. ZywOo with a quick tap, but he's only going to get one. ENCE was so in the sight, they'll overwhelm him, and that plant is covered as well. RPK is going to have to commit if you stop it, but Yampy's got that cross.
Oh, he's just so good. So unfair. 3 kills in this pistol round, and it's all left on to Shox. He's going to remove Sunny. Now there's a lot more to do, a lot more on his plate. And Shox ain't feeling too hungry for this retake. He might just bow on out. He still has the full armor, so likely just going to try and hold on to that. Now, there's this guy called Yampy. Didn't really want to let Shox get away, and so he shuts everybody down. 4 kills in the round from him. And great start to the pistol.
Yeah, this guy is such a young talent, and we saw yesterday that he's great in the interviews as well. Like a nice smile on the dude and a happy guy. So yeah, I really hope that that he can compete one day in the world stages, Harry. But right now, at least for the short term, at least he's on ENCE, putting up numbers, showing us what he can do. I feel like this is our first Mirage game that me and you have casted here in DreamHack Masters. I can't recall any so far, so I'm actually excited to get into the business here as ENCE look for a very puggy T side, just bursting into B right now. We got Sunny faking mid with a connector flashbang, but you can already see Vitality appealing back into B. Apex has realized the hard way he's got to give it up from the market. No one in the sight, and the MAC-10s, well, they're going to start to wreak havoc. Yampy chasing 5-0 already. Shox probably already looking to save as his team are on the A site. And, Jacob, he may have been an ENCE fan. He may have slammed Shox a little bit in that pre-match, but I think Shox has looked really, really good here in DreamHack. Think about the game yesterday where they took on NIP, and Shox just went absolutely ham. 47 and 19 in the series. I mean, he was unstoppable, and NIP barely got in that matchup. So yeah, as long as we can get that Shox showing up today alongside the usual suspects, I think things can be okay for Vitality. But as we saw from those Betway odds earlier on, ENCE are just that little bit favored. And after the result versus Na'Vi, I'm not exactly surprised.
Well, the reinvestment not able to come through just yet for Vitality, but they do at least hold on to what they've got. And really, doesn't make a difference, Hugo, if they make it or not. So let's see. This pistol round. Oh, no. What am I saying?
Harry, they've got each other, and that's a lot.
It is a lot. But maybe not for love in this round. Apex instead is more akin to something like violence. He shuts down Alu early on in mid. Now, of course, you got to bear in mind that there are the equivalent of 10 players over here in the apartment. Yampy in this position. Down this side of the map solo. But he does have the rest of the gang slowly but surely rotating in behind him. Now, Ents losing a man early on, going to look to commit into this site, and they've got Yampy spearheading the push in. He does get dropped by RPK. Sergey, next man into the fray, and with Sunny coming up through short, they do make quick work of these B-site defenders. ZywOo and Masuta left up in a 2-on-3. And a bit of an unlikely retake. Oh no, Masuta!
Yeah,
come on, man! Why are you making life harder for ZywOo?
Don't walk in front of a scout, boys. And look at the damage he does as well. 2 tags, 3 players low.
We've all been there, man.
You never walk in front of a sniper, Harry. You never walk in front of an AWP or a scout or just your teammates, really. That's what happens, you know? Masuta, he certainly made that round harder for ZywOo than it needed to be.
It's what it's like, you know, like when you play with your friends who aren't really into CS as much as you, so you'll be holding an angle and they just go madly running into a retake, like, woo! Like just charging in, and yeah.
I don't know, man. Really everyone I play CS with baits, so I can't really...
Yeah, that's true, actually. My teammates never want to go in first. Here's Masuta holding on to the ramp, and he's looking to get stuck in over here on the CT side. He hears those smokes going out, and at this point he knows there's at least 3 players here, so he just keeps on holding, he keeps on waiting. Flash goes in, but it's not deep enough to blind Masuta. He does get one. Alu in with a response, but this is where Apex comes in. An essential part of this 2-man hold down at that aggressive ramp angle. And so now, even with these smokes on A, if you're Ents, you can't commit just yet. Sunny and Yampy are trying to carve a bit of a path. And Yampy almost able to secure that kill at Cap, but not quite. He gets dropped, Apex in with another, and this leaves Sergey all alone.
Oh, he's got the first at least. That's opened up a path into this A bomb site. The AWP firing, and ZywOo now spotted. Sergey knew RPK was up on the catwalk, but he's considering other options, and as he should be. RPK coming through jungle with ZywOo. Sergey gonna stick the bomb here, very open. This is a big risk, but he's gonna get away with it. Vitality are playing retake, and he shut down ZywOo as well. Sergey yet to die, and he doesn't want this to be his first. It's RPK coming from the same position. Sergey jiggling, spotting. RPK's got the info. Sergey has 2, and now he just has to wait on the box, wait for RPK to overcommit. He's dropped. Sergey's heard it, but he's not gonna hit the shot. RPK with the AUG, and he will find the round here for Vitality, the first on the board. An AWP back in window if he can get there in time, and I think he should just be able to. 10-second stick first, playing it safe. And Vitality at least getting around nice and early on, not letting Ents start to steamroll and get confident here on this T side. The AWP is saved, and well, the money is at least good for Ents, obviously. 3-0 lead. I think Yampy realized after he dropped that smoke that that probably wasn't the play. The second RPK swung out, and Yampy, he tried to get ahead of that, but you know, Ents already down 2 men. Really difficult round to close. Sergey gives it his best shot. And now 3-1. We've got Alu on the AWP. Obviously, you know, Yampy pulling up that second AWP. We're going to see it a lot more on the CT side, I imagine, than the T side. Train, he was a nuisance, a menace in the yard yesterday against Na'Vi, finding an ace and a 4K to shut out the map. So, yeah, I want Yampy on the AWP, but I understand why Alu's taking it. We'll see it later on, I imagine, and if Alu ever dies or Yampy gets tagged up, that would be the perfect time to swap friends.
Damn, Alu, back at it again with the B play. He's over here boosted up at short side looking for this kill into the site. And there is only 1 man here for Team Vitality. ZywOo and the rest of the gang leaning heavily over towards the A site. And with Alu getting that kill, Ents don't know it, but this B site is open and ripe for the taking. Now, little guy called Shox, you might have heard of him. He's going to come and rotate in to try and hold the line. But ultimately, Vitality, they're already locked out of B, and they know it. There's a lot of fire in the market that isn't normally there, so that's going to give the hint on over. Now, Vitality, in a 4-on-4, not even going to attempt this retake. They're just too far away to really justify going for it, right? By the time they arrive, half the time's ticked off this bomb, and suddenly you're very much relying on winning every gunfight. You've only got 1 kit on ZywOo, and you don't want to risk throwing any of these guns away. So it will just have to be this pretty horrible call of giving up this 4-on-4 round and looking to take what you have into the deck.
Yeah, they probably would have insta-saved, but they got tempted by the fact that ZywOo dropped Alu up on Catwalk from A site. So, you know, that made Vitality move a little bit closer, but once they realized that ENCE were like dug in, tucked into B, playing crossfires with the AKs, they knew there was just no realistic way they were going to win that round. Shox, if he hit the jump, he might have had a kill, he might have had the AWP out of the hands of Aerial, but he's going to miss it, and ENCE will survive with their guns and their wits. 4-1. Instantly finding a reset round off the back of Vitality getting on the board. RBK gets caught coming back in apartments as Alu is boosted up on Catwalk. I like that play. No mid-info for Vitality. They can't afford to let that be a consistent problem here. Flashes into the middle area could be a solution for Vitality in the mid-round. ZywOo's going to go for it with the AWP. Molly lands. He's going to take a shot anyway with the smoke at his feet, and ZywOo nails it, as he often does. Yampi's dead, and that's an opening kill here for Vitality with Mizuta pushed on the ramp. He should have a kill here, and he does. Alu on the AWP. If Mizuta goes wide, he should die, but he gets away with 2, dropping the bomb, finding an AWP, and shutting out this round for ENCE. ZywOo will join the party, and Sergey is wondering where it all went wrong. Nothing worse than getting smoked off at a 1-on-4, and yeah, okay, a little more optimistic Apex, but I like the attempt.
It just tries to run the gauntlet. And it doesn't always go your way when you try and do that, but it doesn't matter when you've got ZywOo backing you up and in your corner. Wow, that was a nice little sequence from ZywOo there to solidify all those kills.
I've heard he's pretty good.
Yeah, right?
Someone told me.
Kind of wild, isn't it?
Yeah. ZywOo? ZywOo. And he's back in the B bomb site here. It's a triple stack for Vitality. Of course, ENCE have been ruthless towards B in this game so far, so Vitality leaning towards this side of the map. This is okay. This is pretty common because you can afford to play retake setups on that A site when you have kits. Misuta's in the spawn for that. Yeah, he's making a lot of noise. Apex can't see him though, and now he definitely can't with that flashbang raining in. He's going to have to fall out eventually, right? Give that control to ENCE. They've smoked TopCon. They will be taking it. Notice the bombs in B, but with this jump spot bait setup, Vitality haven't seen it yet. When they do, RPK will fall back, and the player on the balcony, that Shox, will be able to get multiple kills here. ENCE should discount this position because of the jump spot. So there's the info. RPK trying to bait them in now from the car. Shox waiting for his time to shine. He gets one. Trade is up. RPK dropping the bomb, and one by one, ENCE will tumble to a close in this round. It's just 2 left up and stuck in the apartments.
It's Alu, and it's sunny. And right now, this round not exactly shining bright for ENCE. ZywOo homed in on the this is horrible. Look at the mini-map. Yeah, ENCE, like the moment they try and go into this window, it is just death. And Alu, actually not a fan of that, as it turns out. He's going to back away, try and hold on to this AWP, but this is going to be pretty much all ENCE have to work with in this follow-up round.
They pop a flash and they force ZywOo off the angle, but then he just re-peeks into it. Harry, would you prefer holding an angle and getting peeked by ZywOo or peeking into ZywOo? I don't know what's better there. What do you know, you got either option if you're ENCE, but I don't think either is a solution. Tough times.
Yeah, I'd just wait like 10 years, 15 years till maybe he retires.
Yeah.
And then just, try pick it all up again.
Dear, oh dear. Well, 4-3, Vitality at least starting to get back into the swing of things here. It may have been a nice start for ENCE with that reset round off the back of Vitality's first, but even that bait and switch setup doesn't really get a lot of value there. Shox pulls the trigger at the first fight on the player that jumps out the window. You can't blame him. It's his first kill, and he's going to get it, but instantly traded. Sometimes it's better to let the player jump out and kill the second man, because you can find multiple kills and not going to be expecting it. And of course, the first dude out in the apartments was a MAC-10 anyway, so of little value to ENCE, at least in comparison. Well, right now, 4 players with weapons of little value for ENCE. It's just the AWP on Alu, and on the plus side, if he dies, can be picked up by Yampi, who's back in spawn. So let's see where ENCE decide to go with this. They're going to play this round around the AWP, hopefully flashing for Alu and setting him up in positions. Back towards middle they go. Little run boost getting set up here by Yampi and Aerial. And they're going to go flying through so Alu can peek off the back of it.
There's no one to be found in mid just yet for Team Vitality. However, Apex is looking a little bit curious as to what mid has in store. smoke over in the window. Apex going to follow up with a nade through it. It doesn't find any damage. And while all this has gone on, sneaky little Yampy coming up into the back line, in through connector, and he might be a little bit deeper than Apex is ready for. He's already out by the stairs. Apex is crossing over as well. Oh, he's behind Yampy. He is next to Yampy. He doesn't know it, but they are on the same staircase. And oh dear, Apex, the stair master, shuts down 2. Does get traded by Sunny. That's now an AK retrieved. Maybe still a chance here for Ents in this round. With the AWP of Alu coming out from ramp and Sergey up in the Palace position with this wrap from Sunny into CT. He could do a lot of damage. He's got ZywOo in the crosshair, and ZywOo is deleted. Now picking up the pace, and no one's looking. No one doesn't realize. They didn't notice that this was all from the back line, but there's so little time. Apex denies the plant and doubles up. The savior, it's RPK, it's not Apex. I'm trying to give him more credit than is due. But RPK, the tag, sometimes misidentified as Apex, little known fact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That round was a mess, Harry. Not just from the
really was,
side, but from the Vitality
I don't know how they didn't realize that, that Sunny was there.
Where ZywOo gets one tapped, and he's like, I don't know. Well, there's 2 places, ZywOo. Exactly where you're looking, or behind you. And if you didn't see him...
what are the odds that ZywOo's missed someone who's in front of him, right? Like, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So... if I'm ZywOo, whenever I get killed, I'm calling they're probably behind. Apex does nail the man down here in the lower tunnels. That's Sergey getting deleted, and Apex looking for a little bit more.
Delicious.
Oh, he's going in. Back for seconds. Apex, hungry boy. And now helped out by Shox. Coming on in at the end. Dropping down.
This game's going to be a lot of fun, Harry. I can already feel it. I can already taste it. Mirage, Dust 2, Nuke. These are the maps. And these are the teams. Vitality Ents. It's pretty clear, isn't it? 5-4.
Wow, man, yeah.
Crazy how nature do that. Or back out for Alu. He's not got armor here. Got to be very careful with that AWP going towards middle. ZywOo's going to get tagged on the jump. He drops under, and they know it. They saw it, so he's got to get the hell out of here. But good luck, ZywOo. Maybe I don't need to wish him luck. He's pretty good without it. Apex gets killed through the smoke, and ZywOo, the same story, backing up into the connector, into the AWP value. Quick picks for Ents. They're going to play off the back of it as well. They may lose a man up in the apartments. RPK has been keen to push that position, but Ents now swayed away from the B site from that kill. They've still got a man in Palace, and they're going to try and play A, and Vitality have read this excellently. They've moved both players off of B towards his site. Alu could clear out B, but he's going ladder room right now to try and sort the window side of things. And Vitality not only have Mizuta push down on the ramp, but now have a triple setup inside of this site. If there was any round that Vitality could win with a disadvantage, this would be it. Oh no, Alu's clear B.
Yeah, he's realized.
Smart.
He's like, guys, I'm not 100% on this, but I think there's no one at B. However, Ents, they're sending Alu in on a rapid through CT spawn. He's going to try and hold down these rotations while the bomb goes back in through B.
This is the right call. RPK is checking behind him. RPK just looked behind him, and so Vitality are aware of the possibility. Mizuta's even pushed ramp, and with things going quiet, I think the pennies dropped. They worked it right out, but they worked it out too late, Harry. Enter already committing to the site right now, and this all from Alu is going to be a surprise. Not ready for it was RPK, and the bomb getting planted. The cat play denied too. That's a great reaction from Ents. A lot of teams, would have just committed with the heavy setup they had right towards A. Couple in the connector. We had a man in Palace. Sergey could have popped out, but that would have been a real problem because firstly, Ents would have been drawn in by the CT side players, and they would have not even accounted for Mizuta on the ramp side. So luckily enough, it's not a problem for Ents. They clear out the B-bomb site and get a plant, but now Mizuta's just got to do the boring task of saving his weapon. Vitality do have a good bit of money though, luckily enough. So other than Mizuta, everyone else is pretty much good to go rather moving forward. Alu finding picks with this AWP is lovely too. And of course, we know Yampy is an AWPer, but a very capable rifler as well. Like, he's not going to be held back by using this gun. So, we're already seeing that true. Even Stevens right now, Harry.
Yeah, I'm really glad that this matchup is competitive, right? And I'm happy that with Yampy in this squad, we're seeing ENCE looking better and better, right? Like, for the longest time, it was a very, very sad tale of just watching this squad drop off, right? Like, into the abyss. And hopefully we can see the return of this great Finnish esports organization from Finland. ZywOo down here in CT spawn.
Nice.
He's doubled up. Now Yampy and Sunny left in this 2-on-4. Nade into CT doesn't find the damage they were hoping for. And ZywOo, he might try and screw them together here. There's one. Sunny gets deleted. 3 kills for ZywOo. Yampy left up. No! Almost the spray transfer, but not quite. RPK does come out on top, narrowly so. 6 on the board for Vitality. They just about take the lead. Ooh, but Yampy making it a little bit scary.
I believe there for a second. ZywOo hits a very unfortunate timing backing off, but I mean, it gets his teammate killed. Luckily, he trades, so it's not really a problem in terms of the round, but Shox won't be happy about that one at all. Lovely round for Vitality, though. RPK not getting transferred onto. Shox's 1.18 rating makes DreamHack Masters comfortably his best tournament on Vitality if he maintains it, which is, of course, the big if here for Vitality. Who knows how far they're going to run in this tournament. This game is going to be a good test of that, right? Already beating NIP inside of this group yesterday with Na'Vi and ENCE left to face. I say left to face, they're facing ENCE right now. If you didn't know that, you should probably get some glasses. Vitality up 6-5. Double orbs out for this CT side. Obviously none for ENCE because, well, T side. So stick with what you know. Fast mid-take here for ENCE and the molly towards connector, but look at the jump for ZywOo, who's up on the catwalk. He's made the jump this time, and Aerial's not going to be ready for such a fast player up in this position. He's dropped, and ZywOo just falls right back. Because of the triple B setup, ZywOo's going to go back towards A, and that's great, because ENCE have now seen this orb towards B. They're going to be a little more aware of the catwalk, and ZywOo, he's completely repositioned. He's taken the window. Apex is going to swap with him so he can go towards CT, and now if ENCE try and split this A site in anticipation of avoiding ZywOo, well, they're walking right into him.
This is a stalemate. Apart from these two aren't exactly mates. And Sunny coming out on the short end of the stick. ZywOo saved by Masuta. That was actually a team flash. It was Alu who threw it, blinding Sergey. Oh, he's going to try and make up for it. Nice little double, but RPK is nearby to get that trade. And even shows us, like, guys, look, we could have taken the AWP, but we didn't take the AWP. That was for the folks watching at home.
That's a really unfortunate team flash as well, because Sergey found a really good gap to kill the AWP on the site after ZywOo took a shot. And, you know, it was clearly just a miscommunication where Alu's like, I'm flashing, Sergey's already committed, and he can't back up. He takes a shot, he gets blinded, and, well, then he's, well, blind, as the name suggests. Unlucky stuff for ENCE, and now the money isn't there. Yampy's gone for the hero AK and a round of pistols here, so we're going to need a big heroic play out of this young Finnish player from Finland. Sunny dropped up on Cat. It's a fast B play for ENCE, but a triple setup here. Shox is ready with a second orb, and, well, it's a bit of a mowdown. RPK in the site hasn't even been checked, and he'll drop the bomb, and one more. RPK looking to solidify the round, but Alu now in a clutch. Not his weapon, or not his AWP in his hand, but let's see what he can do with a rifle instead.
1v3 for Alu, now 1v2, but the AWP peeking in. Missed shot from Shoxy. ZywOo gonna molly Alu out into the open. 27 points of health. He's taken down the first man, but he's got to go above and beyond now. Minute left, time on his side, and trying to deal with ZywOo. Don't get many more chances at that, Alu. ZywOo is gonna shut him down, putting an 8th now on the board for Team Vitality. There was a time where this game was neck and neck at 5-5. So the Frenchmen starting to pull ahead here towards the end of this first half of play. And in doing so, they've kind of gotten a bit of a hold on the economy in this one. Now, I say that, right? They put ENCE into a kind of F position where, with a bomb plant, they can get a buy into this last round. And I kind of figured, really, that Vitality's money would be better than it is. And, of course, with the rounds being so close, they are also in a situation where they could get broken. So if ENCE want to get back into this and keep this first half as close as it always has been, this round is a must. And it's not looking likely. Masuta and ZywOo, they have been the gatekeepers of this A-bomb site, and they are not letting anyone from ENCE get into the swing of things. And now this push has had all the momentum sucked right out of it. Yampi falls, Sunny now 1v5. Don't fancy his odds in this one, and it's a flawless round for Team Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, that's the example right there of why you don't go for contact plays on A, which is burst flashes against AWPs, because, you know, no smokes down, ZywOo, Shox, they're just free to roam, they're free to fire. Misuta's in the spawn, he's got nothing, you know, stopping him from just deleting those Palace players. And yeah, even one jungle smoke down for ENCE, like a deep jungle smoke, not the typical one, and Vitality just pushed through it, because why wouldn't they? They have everything to do with that A site, and ENCE one by one get dropped. The gun round for the final round of the half, but it's lacking the utility. Really, all that's worked for ENCE here in this game is B, more often than not, and now they're going to go back for it. But you'll notice that bomb is outside of the A site, so I think ENCE are trying to throw in a little bit of a fake here and draw Vitality players away. Now, they might be able to get Shox off of the bomb site, but Mizuta, he's committed. He is dug in under Palace, so that's going to be the key player that ENCE need to rid of this round if they want this A bomb site, rather. B-Fake's not really coming through. The bomb's just getting picked up, and ENCE leaving B early on. They were just holding a default. Not exactly full of utility to throw fakes, but Sunny's lining up some sort of smoke there at the back of the apartments. He's going to put it away, but yeah, no fake at all. So Vitality they even push Shox into the site. They run a standard setup. We're going to see ENCE go for, I imagine, full wall of smokes A, actually be able to cut off these players, but the issue is, because they've left it so long, Vitality, they've got info. ZywOo's pushed the top and middle, they're ready for either contact B or an A execute, and that's why Vitality are playing two players inside of the site. These smokes will not affect them.
Molotovs have just made this grind to an immediate hole, and now ENCE going to try and go through, but at this point, Vitality are already prepared, and this double AWP setup is just picking players off one at a time. ZywOo! Wow. What is this? 3 kills in the round. Oh, he goes through the legs of the final man, but Alu will at least come in and get dropped at the very end by RPK. 10-5, Team Vitality. What a way to find a 10th round and reach double digits here on Mirage. You're going to have to join us for this second half of an excellent series after a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
One giant leap for us, together we'll light the night. I don't ask for much, your heart is enough. I never want to see you cry. Take me home for just one night. Promise I can make you feel alright. Take me home for just one night. Let me light the fire. Take you right there into the stars. All the night like we're royalty. You and I, we were meant to be. Come with me, let me take you right there into the stars. Time just seems to fly whenever you're by my side. Baby, I'm here to stay, so cast your doubts away. Don't let your feelings hide. Take me home for just one night. Promise I can make you feel alright. Take me home for just one night. Let me light the fire. Royalty, you and I, we were meant to be. Come with me, let me take you right there into the stars.
ZywOo, that's who, and he is firing on all cylinders today with the AWP. It's no surprise, it's just a day in the office for this French lineup as they 10-5 the half on ENCE's map pick. These Finns are going to need to swim as they move over to the CT side and try and get back in control of this game. Got Yampy on the kit smoke, Apex on the util, and Vitality with his T-side pistol round. They're going to go towards that B bomb site. Standard setup for ENCE, nothing too special, and so Vitality certainly favored on a bit of a B-rush. We're going to need big kills. Aerial getting boosted, he gets there early. He's only got 3 kills, but he is feeling confident in this pistol round. The shot's connecting, he's got 2 bomb drops as well. All the info in the world. Yampy's here to play, but he's not here to stay. It's Aerial who's going to have to put up a bit of a display. He can't after 2. Shox will trade, and now Vitality are in B.
Ooh, Apex. That's shut down, but Masuta will come in with quite the response. He's picked up 3 in this pistol round so far, and now just Alu left. Masuta going to prove to be the pistol hero that Vitality never knew they needed. They certainly did. 11 now on the board. This pistol round found and a chance to really continue to solidify this lead in the second half.
I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. It feels like every game we get with Masuta, he shows more and more promise inside of this lineup. Like, we knew he was a strong individual player, but, you know, fitting inside of a team, playing up against some of the best players in the world, that's a difficult move, you know, for such a young and inexperienced guy. But he looks to be molding well in this team. And Yampy, same story. Pushing the top and middle, dropping Apex in this round, but it's a B-rush for Vitality. ZywOo on the Bison, I love it. Oh dear, the French-made weapon just running into B. Yampy's going to find a second here. The UMP mops up a lot of damage, and Aerial even converts a kill to ZywOo. It's down to 2.
And this force buy might work out for ENCE. Alu holding with the scout. If he could even find this tag onto RPK planting the bomb, it would be certain death. However, he's able to get away with it. Sergej, next man in. Missing that timing onto Shox crossing at the bench, but they at least know he's here. And that they've got him trapped in this position. RPK is looking into the apartments right now. No one is coming from here for the ENCE side. If you blinked, it is just Alu left standing. So yeah, Team Vitality, they'll get that one converted.
Yeah, this is crazy dominant right now, especially considering this is ENCE's map pick and how this game started. A 4-1 lead for ENCE, a 5-5 scoreline, and then Vitality just go flawless and roll the end of the half. ENCE have been so quiet so far. It hasn't felt like one-sided, but you look at the scoreline and it really is.
Pimp's just come at us, Hugo, with a pretty interesting statistic.
Okay.
Now, you know, we love a Pimp stat because why wouldn't you? We'll quickly revisit it though, because there's a little stack thing going on. Nah, it's not gonna matter.
Don't worry.
So Pip comes at us with a 17 out of ZywOo's 19 kills at the end of that first half of play were on the AWP, and 12 of those AWP kills came in the last 5 rounds of the half. So he just really popped off there. And that makes a lot of sense because it was, you know, when you remember, it was 5-5. We were all tied up. And then suddenly something just kicked Vitality up a gear. Well, you want to know who? It's the guy called ZywOo.
And it was ENCE, you know, going for those contact plays on A, sometimes with smoke, sometimes without. But even when they were down, ZywOo would push through them with the AWP. And you know, considering there were 2 or 3 players on the A site, there was just so much of a defense for Vitality. And they had no fear in going aggressive. They have no fear at all, Harry. Look at this bonus round. This is ballsy. ZywOo's on a goddamn Bison. But ENCE have no head armor apart from Sergej. So this gun is lethal. So is the AWP. And Yampy shows us why. Dropping ZywOo from ladder and turning back to the cat because Vitality are hitting B. And they've got a man in the enemy, or behind the enemy lines rather. That's Apex. This B play needs to come in fast because there are 3 players already here and rotation's beginning to move. Sunny with 1, traded by Masuta. Aerial still here on the catwalk. They don't know it just yet. He's only fired silent shots. Yampy dealing with the flank, and he should be able to shut down this round. If Aerial doesn't first, he will get 1, and it's Shox on the site without the bomb. Yampy will finish it off, and 3 kills with the AWP. This is what we wanted. We didn't get to see him on the AWP in the first half because Alu always had it over him. But now we're in the CT side. Now the money is there for ENCE rather, and you know, you're obviously on the half where you're able to run a double AWP pretty easily in this map. Yampy's going to be able to fire on all cylinders, and this is what we want from the young gun Finnish player.
Oh, Vitality, they're looking tempted to go for a fast B play here. Maybe even more than tempted. They put out that Molotov with the smoke and they go barreling through. Sunny and his old mate Aerial inside of the site. They're not really friends. They're friends, maybe they're not. As Sunny does actually deal with Aerial on behalf of Team Vitality. He's going to look to make up for it by trying to hold down the catwalk, but no, he falls as well, and a missed shot from Alu leaves this in a 2-on-2. Oh, dearie me. Don't have this round fall apart for Ents on the back of a team kill. Alu sneaking in through the window, scoped up with the AWP. He hasn't made a noise yet, and so Frenchmen inside of the site, they've got no idea that their impending doom could lurk right around this corner. But Alu has missed some timings of his own here. Sergey dealing with RPK in the 1v1. Wow. And Apex going to pick it up. 3 in the round for him.
He just doesn't care.
Forward.
I love that. I love the just instant repeat for Apex, just not waiting around. Like, what a risky play, but the results are in for Vitality. He takes both kills, he deals with that wraparound, and then he finds a second. You said it yourself, Harry. Alu missed so many timings there. It's so unfortunate. He's scoped up, he's waiting for aggression, but Vitality, they're at the back left of the site. And even though he looks there right as Apex repositions and misses everything. It's such a shame to see. Vitality up 14-6 right now with a tactical pause off the back of a win. That's got to feel good. They are making Ents sweat in this series. And now Vitality just making sure they can close this out at ease, right? You don't want to let Ents pull any kind of comeback. This is their map pick. They are on the favored half right now. Ents can still do this. And so Vitality know that they've just got to be very careful, have their wits about them, and shut this out before Ents even have the money available. So yeah, look at this buy. The double AWP has turned into double Deeg, and it's surrounded by 3 M4s. Ooh, double under push though.
Real change of pace from Ents. Is this going to be the change they needed? Looks like it out of the gate. Sunny does the smash of RPK. Now these players do still have to try and get out of the lower tunnel. And getting there is one thing, the journey back is another. And Sunny is trapped. So they go into tunnels with 2 so they can play the trade game. And they don't need it. They deal with the man on the peak that is RPK. But it's the return journey that hangs Ents out to dry and now leaves Team Vitality a man up. 4-on-3 and an empty B bomb site that they can just walk on into. This should be a Vitality round.
This is a Vitality round, Harry. There's nothing Ents can do about it. They should just save the second this bomb gets planted. Like, you know, nothing in it. No money left up, and against 15 at this point. Ents have realized the hard way. I mean, in the same vein, right? In the same vein that they should save, they could just go for it because whatever. It's 14-6. Like, this game is really falling out of your hand right now, and you know, really you got to fight for every round if you want a chance to take a victory here. Playing for OT when you're 9 rounds down is not safe, and well, that's not fun either. Aerial getting tagged by the AWP. He's going to save the AK, get the hell out of there, and unfortunately having to give up this 15 to Vitality. And the Frenchmen are just 1 away from stealing Ents' map pick in the series. We know Dust 2 is next, Harry. Dear, oh dear, that can't be fun. Vitality slaughtered NIP on that map yesterday, as they often do to pretty much anyone who dares play it against them. So Ents are going to have some tricks up their sleeve. That being said, always been a good map for Ents, always been a good AWP map for Alu, and with this double AWP that we're already seeing, you know, come into effect here for Ents, it's a shame we haven't had that many CT rounds to see Yampy. The 1 round he's had the AWP, he found 3 kills with it. So, you know, hopefully we'll get more of that back on Dust, or moving forward on Dust too, if Ents start on that CT side, hopefully. But it remains to be seen.
Oh, Sunny lands the catch up, but they're already very, very deep. And they're looking to get stuck in to a bit of Sunny.
Oh,
Masuta
that's a great bait.
Going to pick it up.
That's actually sick. I doubt it was purposeful, but Apex runs up Sunny hears him, he aims for him, and then Apex backs off rather, and Masuta peeks from far away. Sunny is looking close, Harry, but instead he should be looking far. Little does he know. And a bullet to the brain, well, that will pick up an advantage for Vitality early in the round. Oh dear.
Man, it is just read after read for the Vitality boys, and shot after shot landing as well. Masuta getting into the ladder room. He's going to hold down this point of rotation. This makes life very, very hard for Yampi and Alu. And it kind of hamstrings them to come in through CT. And it's not like the normal CT retake in a 2-on-5 where you're already hating life. The thing that makes it even worse is that they know you're here. They've heard you, and you know they've heard you as well. You're just walking into all these crosshairs, and you can't do anything about it. You had to hit your shots there, and it just doesn't happen. Vitality with so many players on the angle. Unsurprisingly, are able to pick up the victory here on Mirage.
Yeah, smooth sailing for the Frenchman. I mean, that felt easy, right? Like a competitive start, Ents with the lead, Ents looking good, the AWP showing us what they could do, and then Vitality just sweep the board. They go flawless at the end of the half, and they barely drop any rounds moving into the second. I mean, that's a Vitality I wanted to see, but that's not the Ents I expected to see, not after yesterday, where they dominate Na'Vi and 2-0 them in the series. I hope Ents can step it up moving to Dust 2. We'll have to wait and see, so join us after the break for that second map.